Howdy guys. Hanging out here in the shop today. Started raining, so me and Grandpa came in and kind of put a damper on our woodlot plans for the day. But I've got all my rounds split now, so now I just got a big old stack of wood to get rid of. Let me know if you need some firewood. But anyway, I figured I'd shoot a little content for you guys. Started brainstorming, thinking about, what are 10 rules or 10 skills or 10 things that I believe a man should do daily or should be able to do, or 10 rules of manhood, you know what I mean? Something like that. These are some things I think that are important, especially if the shit hits the fan. You never know. As we all saw in COVID, the thin veil of society in modern life is pretty thin sometimes, People get scared, people do crazy shit. You never know what's going to happen. So some of these rules are some people might say primitive or oh, you don't need that in today's society. Some of them are simple. You'll see just little tips and tricks that I learned from my grandpa and my dad. That to help you just be a better man. So let's start off with number one. I think this is really important, and I think about a lot of my buddies and stuff, and I don't think this is something that a lot of guys do nowadays. But number one is own a complete and basic set of tools and know how to use them. I think that's crucial. I can't tell you how many times somebody needs to, have a screwdriver or this or that, and, we don't have them. And they got to call a guy or whatever, Nowadays, people just want to pay somebody else to fix it, which I think is lame. If you are a grown man and you don't have a set of tools, you might have to take your man card away. And here we go. Here's a little caveat to that rule. If you are ever going to borrow another man's tools, you must return it promptly, on time, and it must be clean. The rule on this one is always leave it better than you found it, and it always needs to be put back in its place. My grandpa beats that into my head. Every tool has its place, and every tool at the end of the day must be in its place and clean. Okay? So that's 2 and 2B. Okay? Here's one that I really like, that ladies will appreciate. You should always have 2 hankies. One handkerchief for you, wipe your brow, blow your nose, whatever. And one clean hanky in your breast pocket for if a lady needs one. Very, very important. And what I like to do is I throw all my hankies in a wash, and then now with COVID, all my face masks in a wash at once, and I use some of that, those downy, like extra scent beads or whatever, and so they always smell great, fresh laundry. And so if you're ever out with a gal and gals are the strongest beings on earth, but sometimes they might cry a little bit. Well, you have a little hanky, who knows? That's a nice thing to have. Always keep 2 handkerchiefs on you. That's a rule I got from my grandpa. I always thought it was kind of weird, but it's the truth. Number 4, this should be a basic one, but you should never leave the house without your wallet, keys, a pocket knife. I say without a gun. You should always have a gun with you. You need to have cash because cards aren't always going to work, and you need to have your hankies. All right? Simple as that. That's number 4. Number 5, I believe that if you want to call yourself a man, you must be able to drive a manual transmission. I think everybody's first car should be a manual transmission. I get it that nowadays, there's barely any brand new cars that are manuals, but there's still a whole ton of cars that are manual, and you just need to be able to drive one. As simple as that. It's more fun to drive a manual. You can actually, you feel like you're actually doing something. That's rule number 5. Number 6, I believe that if you want to call yourself a man, you must be able to do basic maintenance on your vehicle. You need to be able to change the oil, flush the radiator. You need to be able to rotate your tires. You need to be able to do a brake job. You need to be able to fix most common small little issues, because if you take it in to like an oil can Henry's or the dealership for an oil change, I don't know if you've heard much about those companies, but they are swindlers. They are crooks. Especially the Oil Can Henrys, the quick oil change places. Oh my God. Just do some research on them. It's a racket. It's a complete racket. Number 7. This is one that that used to be much more important, but I think is still important. Every man should own an axe, keep it sharp, and know how to use it. Simple as that. You never know when you're going to need to have to, do some bush crafting or collect firewood or whatever. Every man should have an axe. That's the same thing as a pocket knife. Every man should have a pocket knife. But I already said that. Number 8. This one's a little bit more of an overall concept. But in order to call yourself a man, you need to be open and you need to be a safe place for your friends and family to come to if they have issues, if they need an ear, if they need a shoulder to cry on or whatever. You need to be there for the people around you. I think that's a really important one. Number 9, every man should be able to start a fire without any special tools. Rubbing sticks together, whatever. It's a skill that can save your life if you're ever caught in a situation where you need a fire. Every man should be able to do it. And maybe even add on to that checklist of things you never leave the house with. Bring a lighter. They're easy, they're light, you barely even remember you have it. Bring a lighter. You never know. Number 10, I get that it's not always the most practical thing, but I believe in order to call yourself a man, you need to be able to hunt or forage for your own food. In our day and age, most people are so disconnected from where their food comes from. Kids grow up thinking that, grocery stores are just magic and food just, poof, you have a steak or a burger or hot dogs or whatever. Fortunately, I was pretty young when I killed my first animal, and it's a very powerful, life-changing experience. And I'll go to bat with any vegan any day about the ethics. One thing, animals don't live forever, okay? Neither do we. So, a quick, easy death by a bullet or a arrow is a lot easier than a slow, painful death getting attacked by wolves. You'll never win that argument. We all eat meat. Most of us eat meat. And I respect people who don't want to eat meat. Believe me, do whatever you want. It ain't affecting me. I don't give a shit. But don't try and tell me that it's unethical or something like that. Like if I don't eat that cow, it's gonna live forever and yada yada yada. No, I don't play that game. Number 10, you need to be able to hunt. You need to be able to kill. Some guys are too sissy to even kill something. I think in our day and age, manhood is under attack. And I get, women, they need their turn. I grew up with a single mom. I respect the hell out of women, almost to a fault sometimes. Like, I rarely even try and hit on women because I respect them so much. But that doesn't mean that we can't be men, we can have both. We've always had both, you know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of weak men out there who abuse women, who bully, who try and take advantage of people. If you're abusing women or hitting women or being a dick, you're a weak man. And I'll say it right to your face, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't play that game either. But anyway, sorry to get serious on you guys, but I was just brainstorming and I thought, I'd put this list together because I think it's important. And if you guys have any more to add to the list, feel free to put it in the comments. And we could just keep this list going. If you disagree with one of my items on the list, let me know too. I'm always open for debate. One thing again that I think a lot of us learned, I heard there was a lot of diehard liberals in California lining up to buy guns when this COVID thing happened. I've had so many friends come up to me, hey man, how do I get a gun? You take me shooting this or that? Hey, can I buy a gun from you? Oh, okay. Weren't you the person saying they should all be banned like 3 months ago? Whatever. But yeah, back again. Just watching over the video, doing some editing, and I thought of one last rule that I wanted to add. And I'm not going to lie, I got this right off the show Letterkenny, but when a friend asks for help, you help them, It's not always easy, but if somebody asks you for help, you show up and you help them. you know, because when the shoe's on the other foot, you'll appreciate it. Again, just wanted to add that one. Thanks, guys.